Last night, the Chargers did what all of America thought they would do, except for our staff, of course, who thought the Colts would win that game outright. Wow. In any event, so the Chargers are now in the playoffs, meaning the rest of the world is now going to get to see Justin Herbert in the postseason for the first time.
Yeah, and this is exciting. This is what you want when you are a young quarterback that's been talked about all regular season since the moment you got in, and you made noise. And he's made a ton of noise in the regular season, but has never gotten this team to the postseason. You finally do that. Now we're going to be able to start to compare Justin Herbert to the other guys.
Sure.
And that's what we do. We compare guys not just because of their regular season stats, but what do you do in the postseason when you get in? Are you a quarterback that can win? Justin Herbert, we're going to find out.
It's funny, 3 weeks ago, I made the comment on this show that the Chargers weren't going to lose again. And they haven't. And because it's what you talked about all year with us here, and that is the health of their wide receivers. It's not a coincidence that they get both guys back. They're healthy. Herbert takes off, although, he didn't throw a touchdown pass last night. They found a way to win the game. But getting healthy was the key to this.
It's very important for this team. When you think about those guys, there was a stat last night that they put up that Mike Williams and Keenan Allen had only played 17% of the snaps with Justin Herbert.
Wow.
Like, that is that is unreal. You cannot have success or sustain any type of success or continuity for that matter.
Justin Jefferson
with no guys
feeding off the
Correct.
Vikings.
Correct.
Right? They're not going to win.
One or the other. Like, you got to have someone there consistently. Neither one has been there consistently. They're there now. They're healthy. Defensively, they're getting guys back. This is a team that can make some noise.
And I tell you what, there's a city right now that's shaking in their boots a little bit. Ooh, I can feel it. You can feel it. You can sense it. Like, if you put your nose outside right now and go, you can smell a city that's saying, we want no part of the Chargers. And it's Cincinnati. That's right. Because right now, Cincinnati would play the LA Chargers in round one. And I know that game would be in Cincinnati, but you want no part of the LA Chargers if you're in Cincinnati.
You think so?
I disagree.
Really?
I completely disagree.
Knees knocking.
if there is one team that doesn't fear anyone, I mean, and I know
the
we
Kansas City
always
Chiefs.
say,
No question.
Who? The Chiefs.
If there's one team that doesn't fear nobody, it's the Chiefs.
No, the Chiefs don't want to see the Bengals.
Oh, stop that.
Even I don't know. I'm with you on the Bengals, but even I don't believe that one.
They beat them 3 times in a row this calendar year, Craig. Yeah, great. That and a dollar doesn't get you anything in New York City. Go ahead.
It's about what you've done lately.
Yeah.
And lately, when the Chiefs play the Bengals, they get beat.
Yes.
And so if the Chiefs sniffed the Bengals coming, they don't want that.
Well, they can't
just
play
stick
in
your
the
nose
first
outside
round.
and see the Bengals coming. No, you don't want that if you're the Chiefs.
By the way, if I'm the Chiefs, I want all that smoke. All of it. You give me that Skyline chili smoke all day. Cincinnati, your worst nightmare is about to come true. You're about to get a little taste of Justin Herbert for breakfast. Anyhow,
he loves this.
Yes, he does.
Now your feeds are going to be just blowing up with all the Bengals fans. You love this.
I am beloved in Cincinnati.
Are you?
I'd be like the mayor of their New Year's Eve parade. They can't get enough of me.
You're a Cleveland guy, obviously.
I lived in Cleveland for a year. That's right.
So
right.
what do you
I have great
actually
affinity
know?
for the city of Cleveland.
So what do you actually know about Cincinnati? It's not the same city.
Huh?
What do you actually know about Cincinnati?
I know that the people that make any money in Cincinnati live in Kentucky. That's what I know about Cincinnati. That's what I know about Cincinnati. There's not a single Bengal that lives in Cincinnati. Every one of them lives in Kentucky.
Interesting.
Yeah. You know why?
Why?
Because nobody wants to live in Cincinnati. It's the Pittsburgh of Ohio. Sorry, Pittsburgh. I'm just saying, that's what it is. Meanwhile, you're saying to yourselves, well, we're 20 minutes into the show. How come they haven't shown any highlights from last night's game?
What highlights?
Because there were none.
They were definitely
And then the play of the game that is getting a lot of attention. I got to be honest, when I saw it live, I thought it was a clean hit. I really did. And I'm still not sure it's not a clean hit. But show them Chargers, Derwin James hits the Colts, Ashton Dulin. Bang. Oof. Now, listen, both guys were down for a second, and it wasn't until I saw it like this. He speared him with his head, made contact with his face mask, and he got ejected from the game for that hit.
Yeah.
And in real time, I was like, come on, guys, it's football. In slow motion, hard to argue that call.
Correct. And this is why you have replay. But the officials did a great job of throwing the flag. Obviously, they're trying to eliminate this from the game. But like you said, initially when I saw it, I thought he had hit him not only with his shoulder pads, but his forearms coming up, lifting him through. But Derwin James, this is, and I know there's people out there that's like, that's a dirty hit. That was not dirty. There was nothing dirty about that. Like, that's football.
He did lead with his head.
He did lead with his head.
And he made contact with his face mask.
That is the only issue that I would have had with that hit, is that the fact that his head was down. If his face mask was up, then that's a clean hit. And when it comes to dirty hits, like any receiver, you can ask any receiver or pass catcher in the National Football League, you would much rather get hit or have a guy hit you up high above the waist than go down low and hit you below the waist. Mm-hmm. That is a no-no. That's where guys in their careers get knees blown out and different things like that.
I can tell you what, that's as dangerous for Derwin James as is for Doolin there, because
and you saw it.
That's just the grace of God right there that he's not paralyzed, because he had his head down, he's got full force contact, and if he hits the wrong part of Doolin's body there, he ain't getting up.
And they're both in concussion protocol now.
Yeah, they have to be. They have to be, especially on the heels of finding out about Tua before the game. There's going to be an extra sensitivity, as there should be, to what's going on. But if you guys want to show it one more time, if you don't mind, the slow-mo version of it. Because, again, in real time, like that's a football play. And then slow motion, I mean, I'm still like, when you watch that, Derwin James is the lucky guy here, not the other guy. Because if he makes contact with his shoulder, there's a chance Derwin James doesn't get up.
Yeah, and I didn't know if he was going to get up because he kind of stumbled. You can see him kind of stumbling. Then he obviously wanted to stay in the game, so he started pointing to his shoulder as if it was just his shoulder. But we all kind of saw that he was a little out of it, trying to get up on his feet.
Yeah, real quick, the other news, of course, is that Nathaniel Hackett is out as the Denver Bronco head coach. He's only the fifth coach in the last 50 or so years not to make it through a full season. Urban Meyer, of course, a year ago. Yep. The last guy to do it. Bobby Petrino was another guy, the former Louisville head coach, who was just a crazy lunatic that couldn't make it like... How long did Petrino even last in the NFL? I don't know. But it's interesting because if you remember the sound from Nathaniel Hackett after the embarrassing loss, and now you read it or listen to it, knowing that he got fired, it's almost like dead man talking, right? Yeah. Like now you know he got fired. It all makes a lot of sense.
He thought he was getting Lane Kiffin. He was going to be left on the tarmac was going to happen.
By the way, he came pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close. Now the question is, does the GM get to stay? Because that was a GM hire. They've got new ownership there, the Walton family. Yeah. They gave a bunch of money, of course, to Russell Wilson, who has played more like Zach Wilson this year, and you're stuck with the guy. So I know they're already banting names about, which I usually have a problem with until the season's over. But, what high-level candidate is going to want that job knowing that Russell Wilson has to be the quarterback for the next 2 years?
Well, I think you're definitely going to have coaches that are interested in the job, because defensively this team is solid. Like, and I believe that's really truly why Nathaniel Hackett had to go immediately, because you lost the team. Defensively, they looked completely different.
Right.
It almost looked
that's
like
a team that just gave up.
They did. And once you start seeing that, you can't allow coaches to continue to coach. But for me, this is still an intriguing position for any coach entering in. Russell Wilson, not so much, but the psyche would be, I believe that I can bring in a scheme that will support what he used to do and what we've seen him do in the past. The question is, can Russell Wilson get back to any form of what we saw early in his career?
I think part of it also, Greg and Cody, is trying to figure out why he played so badly.
Yes.
Was it the system? Was it the offensive line? Is he being a knucklehead? Like, you got to figure out the causal reasons for that guy to play so lousy, because he's got a 10-year track record of being really good.
Mm-hmm. And for me, you talk about why, like when you watch the film, you turn on the tape and you just roll it. it's not even about the totality of the game for me with Russell Wilson. It's the simple things. Like, as a 10, 11-year vet in this league, he's not even hitting his first option, his first read. Like, what is there on tape to take and to have? He's not even taking that. He's missing those throws. He's showing a lack of confidence in actually making a throw and throwing it with like a lot of the things that I've seen with Russell Wilson starts here. And it's once you lose confidence, I don't care who you are and what you do, there's nothing you can do as a coach, as a teammate, to pour back into that.
Yeah,
you have to believe
let's
it first.
just say it in few words. He sucks. Like, he stunk all year. Like, from week one. Like, there hasn't been a game this year when you're like, Russell Wilson is back. Which does bring me to this, Cody.
Yes.
Which of these four guys is next? Saturday, Stefanski, Eberflus. You got to fire him just because of his name, don't you?
No.
Or Kingsbury. Who's next?
I mean, Saturday, obviously.
Saturday's gone 5 in a row?
Yes.
I think Saturday, Kingsbury has the deal, so I think he should be gone. But Stefanski, he's okay.
You think Stefanski survives one more year?
Stefanski, survives. You got to think, Deshaun Watson came in late in the season. They got to see what
he gets one bonus year.
I think he gets another.
Well, I hope Fox is the same way. Write that down. December 28th show, no good. All right, Fox says we'll give you another show tomorrow. Thank you. Hey there. Thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.